guys I'd sit on it for forever.
What up, everybody?
What am I doing? Oh, we're on. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
I did that.
Oh, I wasn't paying any attention.
Hey, welcome to Grease and Grace. My name's Jordan.
And my name's Kim.
And you're listening to the powerful Chef Kim
Duo.
and Pastor Jay.
Woo, woo.
What's up? You're in for it. This is not a normal record time. Buckle up.
Okay, I was trying to figure out.
Kim's back from Texas.
Kim went to Texas.
You guys don't even know.
Kim went to Texas.
She went on a girls trip.
On a little girls trip.
I don't even know what that means.
It's
I'm just glad you still do that
went with girls.
I wish that people did that's fantastic. Good for you.
Well, yeah.
I went on a girls trip.
Yeah.
I want to go on a girls trip.
Like we
Wait,
are
hold on.
all moms and
Oh no. You left your kids at home.
Absolutely.
They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
So my one friend, she was like, I need to leave. She's been at a house, not her husband.
No, I thought you meant in Texas. She was like, I need to leave.
No, she does not live in Texas, but she was like, I need to get out of my house. And I said, cool, where are we going? Because I'm the friend who's like,
I just got your Instagram.
Yeah, brother.
Sorry, people. Kim's in the middle of the story.
Yeah,
I don't know that later. Go ahead. Anyway.
So yeah, it was just me and two other ladies, and we just didn't do too much.
Did you guys just hang out?
Yeah,
nice.
We
just chill.
Pretty much. I mean, you go down on Congress and go shopping, and
do you remember?
That's where I got these.
Oh yeah, those are crazy.
Yeah,
Kim's shoes are white.
They're tight right now.
Yeah.
They've never been worn. So.
Whoa. Do you remember Music Soul Child?
Yes. Is he from there? Is he from Austin? I haven't listened to that song in a long time. I know all of the lyrics to that song. Girl, I know this might seem strange, but
that's so good.
Is he from there, or are you listening to that?
What's the lyrics? The lyrics were what I'd have to go through that whole song, but that's what
I know. You started a whole thing.
I love that song. It's so good.
He's got a couple songs that I really, really like. If you haven't listened to Music Soul Child,
you're missing out.
It's R&B. So
it's good.
If you like country, don't expect.
I put this up earlier today. Do you remember 90s CD books? Do you remember those?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Tell Bethy in the I was like, don't you put the CDs in the front? You put them in the back, or else you scratch them.
Yeah, I had.
How am I supposed to see the CD art?
I didn't have a ton of CDs though.
You did?
From artists. I had just burnt.
You were that person.
I LimeWired.
And then,
LimeWire was where it was at. Illegally music. I support my artists now.
Did you write on them with Sharpies too?
Oh, absolutely.
Did
but
you put,
none of them made sense.
Yeah.
No, it would be Kim's 1999 playlist for spring cleaning, and there'd be an entire book, or I'd make it or my friends would make it for me. It'd be this whole story. I remember quite a few CDs that had a circle of words, and it would, and then
it just keep
and you just keep reading it, and it's do you remember that one time when we went out and we were, you know what I mean? This is the music that we listened to that night. It was so much fun. I love you so much. You're the best friend. The dumbest things.
I was telling Bethy, these kids texting and driving, you don't know about with a book of CDs in your lap,
trying to find
a
right
CD.
Vibe.
You got one in your mouth,
yes,
yelling at your friends in the back.
They'll also nobody will understand that when we learned music, did you burn music too?
All the time.
Okay. You burned
it's 10 years. I could say
deep
that.
Cut tracks.
Yeah.
What's the word? The static whatever. Statute of limitations. Yeah, that's what it is. But I learned the version of the songs that I downloaded. So I knew what the song was based on the intro. So it'd be this is KBD, this is the hits, only the hits. We gonna be listening to Ja Rule. And
you brought him up. I was singing this story out. What I do about you.
Yeah.
I told Bethany, I was like, you know about Ja Rule? She's like, what? Who? She's like, who is that? I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot you're listening to Blessed Union of Souls over there, you know? And so the whole morning I'm like, I only think about you.
But it's all of the burn versions. And so
I love that you went straight to Ja Rule. That's so good.
Prime time. That was not planned. I did not, guys, I don't stalk Jordan at all. In fact, I got back from my trip and then I got like instantly catapulted into an entire week. So I told Jordan right before I walked in, I am in recovery mode today.
This is going to catapult you into the future.
It is.
It's going to make you
This
excited.
is the catalyst. Us podcasting is a catalyst to me being able to get at least a few things on my list done.
Trivia time. How old is Ja Rule?
Oh, 54.
Whoa!
Is he really?
Oh, no, 48.
Oh.
He's
Oh
48.
man,
He was born in 1976.
that's wild.
That is crazy.
That's wild. That's too much.
Guess what? You don't look like that anymore.
Oh man.
Yeah. Nelly's 50.
Nelly's 50. How old is 50 Cent? There was an interview with him not too long ago.
You mean Curtis?
Curtis. Did you see that interview where he's talking about like how his Curtis
49.
is 49. Yeah. They're all like, it's too late to party at this point. It's too late to party at this point. Listen, I just went out with
You
my
used to look
friends
good with your shirt off. Now you got to keep it on.
He was just in the Super Bowl not too long ago. He wasn't looking terrible. Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
He wasn't looking terrible. I mean, like, he was looking like a middle-aged
drugs.
man.
I guarantee you. I throw it out there. I'll tell you right now, he's on drugs.
No, because anyways, whatever.
Love you, 50.
Hi, guys. Welcome to Grace and Grace.
That was intense.
We haven't
That was
seen.
good.
We haven't seen.
We haven't seen each other in a while, so that's how this is going.
Yo, man, why do you got paydays on your desk right now?
You want one?
No.
You sure?
Yeah. Is that your favorite bar?
My assistant gave it to me.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, no, she was like, here's a whole sleeve of paydays. I was like, for what? She's like, I don't know. It's like, all right. I think she gave. This is really bad. I think she gave me an answer, and I might have bypassed it because I had something else on my mind. So I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Like, and then you're joking on your drink.
That's something.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
Are you gonna eat them?
do you want one?
No.
I'll give you one.
I don't want one.
Do you not like them? You
No.
like paydays?
I don't like peanuts.
Oh, that's sad.
Which is like, no, it's not. Although it is kind of, because like all of the like best like protein snacks and stuff like that consist of peanuts and peanut butter, and I cannot stand it. In fact, not too long ago, last week, Miles, my son, I have 2 kids, if this is the first time you've ever listened. Miles,
and we do get to a topic here in a minute, but we'll get there.
Miles, my sweet child, made me a peanut butter and banana sandwich.
He's the oldest.
He's the oldest. And he's got like such a good heart. And he was like so thrilled to give me this peanut butter and banana sandwich. Jordan, he cut the bananas and like lined them up for me.
Bananas.
So proud of this sandwich. And so I was like,
just look at him
I
like,
gotta eat this.
You did it?
I'm not telling that poor soul that I'm not eating that because it's got peanut butter on it. You can guarantee. So I suffered through that. I fought. I was out in battle by my lonesome finishing the sandwich. He comes in right after and he's like, how'd you rate the sandwich?
It's a
and
0.
I was like, it was the best sandwich ever, but like my soul was dying. Hey, like, and
he's gonna think you like them.
I know, because he's once made me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
He is going to bring you those all the time.
When he made the peanut butter and jelly sandwich, Jordan, I kid you not, I like gagged. That's how much I hate peanut butter. Like, I'm just not a peanut butter person. So no, I'm not gonna eat peanuts. Ew.
I give you $5. $5.
No.
If you can name 3 Ja Rule songs right now.
Okay. Is it the songs that he
It's his songs.
is in?
It's his songs.
Okay, so Living It Up.
Living
it up, we got all the night.
And then you get into the verse and you're like, nope, can't sing that anymore. Okay, yeah, so that's one.
He did a lot with Ashanti.
Ashanti.
So does that count?
No, I'm talking about his songs. You got one. The other 2 are easy.
I'm not gonna know them.
Are you serious?
I don't know. You're gonna say I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, but like
between me and you.
I don't know that one.
Every little thing that we do
should
be between me and you. Right.
See, I haven't listened to that. That's a deep cut right there.
That is. And then the one that we were singing.
I only think about you.
I don't know what the title is.
I know you're tired of being lonely.
So baby girl, put it on me. Yeah. Oh my goodness, this is so funny.
I love that we're singing Ja Rule.
Do not listen to Ja Rule. If you are listening to this, it is not okay.
Oh man.
That's one of those. That's one of those. We shouldn't have done that things. Like, here's the deal, because there's so many TikToks about this where you get the mom and she's like, oh, I love this song. She turns it on, she starts singing to it. And she's like,
yeah.
Nope.
That was me with the song OPP.
Oh, that song is so rough.
It is. But like, okay, so.
Yeah, you know me.
Yeah. So I grew up, not just as a kid, but like into my early 20s, thinking that song was like about people's houses, like their properties. Because my mom taught me, hi Carmen, my mom taught me that like they're just talking about other people's properties. Like you just make sure that you take care of other people's houses when you go over to your friend's house. You down with OPP?
and here's the deal. Don't ever Google OPP and what that means either, because that's not good either.
Yeah, I mean, I said what it is, but I'm not saying what it is. And so, like, I went through life thinking that this song was just about, like, take care of other people's land. Don't walk on their grass.
No.
I'm dead serious.
Buddy.
Dead serious. I called my mom, and I was like, Mom, did you know what OPP meant? And she was like, yeah. And I was like,
and you
let me think this for this long? And she's like, well, you were a little kid when it came out.
Oh my goodness.
So innocent little me, just
poor Kim,
singing OPP, talking about not talking on people's grass, walking on people's grass.
All right, if you're new to the show, here's how this works. Okay, so like if you made it this far, congratulations.
You did it.
We are proud of you.
You did it.
Every week we take a topic. Kim picks the topic. What are you drinking? That looks like straight. Those faces are like.
This isn't the one that I normally drink. So
what is it? Just read the label.
20 grams of protein, 0 added sugar, peaches and cream, Chobani. It's a drinkable yogurt that has 20 grams. The problem. This is not the one that I normally drink.
Well, the face that you just made putting that thing down.
So
you look like.
So the reason why this is not the one that I normally drink is because there are chunks of yogurt in this. You're supposed to like shake it. I shook it all the way here. I was driving here with one hand and shaking
chunks of yogurt in that.
Yeah, and so if you don't shake it up well enough, then there's chunks. And I don't like stuff in my drink. Like when people get strawberry. What was the drink in Red Robin? Do you know what I'm talking about? The speckled lemonade, and there's like strawberries at the bottom.
And it's coming down your throat, and it feels like little worms.
Yeah, I can't. I don't understand how people can drink anything with anything in their drink that is other than liquid. And so that was a struggle.
What's the one thing when you start talking about it makes you want to throw up like instantaneously?
It's not going to be what you expect.
What is it? Like the one thing where you're like,
I can't even. It's giving me goosebumps.
I can't even say it.
It's
You're thinking it
when people chew. Oh, I can't do it. When people eat like multiple,
Kim's eyes are closed right now.
And my hands are like clenched. I'm like, get through this because I can start thinking about the sound. I can't get through it. Okay, when people eat like more than one M&M or Skittle. This is not an act. Because
Kim is sweating right now. Like I can see the sweat beating up on your forehead. Like
I can't. Like, oh, it makes me just like they're hard candies. Like I don't eat hard candies.
Oh man,
because they scrape your teeth. And so when people eat,
you don't like it.
It's like nails on a chalkboard. When people eat like multiple M&Ms or Skittles, I like see myself out. Like I can't do it. It's
So the other night we're coming home. We're coming home from church. Yeah. Anyway, and I don't know where it came from, but Gianna and I were driving in my truck, and I was like, "Hey, have you ever accidentally drank the spit from your French horn?"
What'd she say?
Like immediately.
Gross.
I was like, what if?
Oh,
I was like,
no.
just hear me out. I'm having the same thing that you're having right now because I'm like, I don't even think I could like bring it up. I'm like, because when for a French horn, they like rotate it, and all the spit goes around a circle, and then it goes onto the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, I know what it is.
If I poured that in a cup.
Oh, stop it! Do you remember there was a?
It's in my chest.
There was like a food, show, like a talk show.
Yeah.
And it was like a Wheel of Unfortunate.
Oh, yeah. It's in Do Perfect videos.
Yes.
Oh, Jimmy Fallon does it too.
No, he was canceled. So I don't
never
remember
mind.
his name. He was canceled because he was
I'll stop guessing
a waiter. But anyways, he would like have celebrities spin this wheel, and it would be like, you need to answer this like super hard question.
That was Jimmy
like,
Fallon.
No, it was not.
Are you sure?
It was like he was blonde. He was British.
All right.
He was blonde British dude. Anyway, he would have like them spin this wheel of like, what are you gonna eat or drink? And then he would ask a question like, tell us how much you made in this last movie.
Wait, did he get canceled?
Yeah, I told you he got canceled.
Really? He was canceled?
Yeah.
Anyway, carry on. I know
Because
who
he
it
was
is, but
mean
I
to
can't
a waiter
remember.
or a waitress.
James Corbin.
Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
He was mean, and people were like, we don't like mean people.
He got canceled, huh?
Yep. So he had this like wheel of just like the most disgusting things, and there was one
I'll
that
never
was
forget that.
bird saliva. And I was like, "Hey, how you getting that bird saliva?
How did you get?
That was one where I was like, I don't know if I could watch that. No, thank you.
All right, Kim. What's today's topic?
Oh,
We gotta
today.
get
So, guys, sorry, you made it. Way to go.
You made it this far.
At this point, anymore.
I almost just let it go. I was like, you know what? No topic today.
I
We're
know.
talking about
We're
Ja
close
Rule and
to
Ashanti for the next 25 minutes.
Well, we are talking about celebrities.
What kind?
We're talking about reality
Reality shows?
shows. today.
We're good. We can just keep rolling. Wait, reality shows
Like
or reality shows celebrities?
like reality TV.
Oh, reality TV.
Yeah, like reality
Yeah.
TV. Which neither of us really watch much anymore. I did.
Okay, so
I watch
I
a
would kick
few.
against that. I'll kick against that, but go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah,
What do you mean?
Because I feel like YouTube is a channel, and that is reality TV.
You think so?
The only reason I say that is because I think you have to clump it in because these are things that are actually happening, transpiring. They would never put it, and nor is it scripted, like traditional reality TV where you have like the pause and then, well, let me tell you what happened, and then like it goes back to like the actual show. But influencers are doing the same thing. If you take out like the little interviews that reality TV is known for, it's YouTube. That's all it is.
That's true. I did. P.S. Speaking of YouTube, I found this phenomenal discussion. It is like by a channel, and it's 25 Christians versus one atheist.
I saw that.
And I
watched it.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's really
like
good.
halfway through because I fell asleep. But
And then the day went to garbage. All right, reality television is a genre of TV programming that documents I don't know what that word is. Unscripted, real-life situations, often starring ordinary people rather than professional actors. Okay, so like that's YouTube, right?
they're not actors though.
They're ordinary people rather than professional actors. Yeah. That's YouTube. Reality television emerged as a distinct genre in the early 1990s with shows such as. Want to take a guess which one set the stage?
Was it The Real World?
Yeah, you got
It was
it.
The Real World.
Good job.
Yeah, because it was like the first like
Pauly D. That's the shore. Never mind.
That was so late. The Real World. This is The Real World.
Jim Tan Laundry.
I didn't watch.
That's totally not The Real
original.
World, by the way.
That's not The
You guys,
Real
we are
World.
mixing up MTV shows.
You're mixing up MTV shows.
All right, anyway. Then you had prominence in the early 2000s with successful series like
Jersey Shore. Teen Mom. Like I'm specifically.
Go outside of MTV.
I know. I'm like specifically into MTV because they were heavy on that.
Okay.
So Big Brother, Survivor.
Dude, you got the top
I lived it.
3.
I lived it, man.
Unbelievable. Global
Yeah.
franchises. Reality television shows tend to be interspersed with confessionals.
Yes.
Which is what we were talking about. Short interview segments in which cast members reflect on or provide context for the events being depicted on screen, which I always wondered how. Like, when were those shot? Because they weren't shot. It has to be an afterthought.
What do you mean?
Well,
It has to
like
be an afterthought.
Well, like those interviews had to be
I
recorded
know.
well after.
I too I still don't understand that because like
That always bothered me. I'm like, wait a second. How did you're commenting on something that just happened, but you're sitting.
you're on Survivor, you have no clothes on, but then you're sitting here fully clothed
And you got makeup
look
on.
okay. How'd that happen?
Yeah,
Yeah, I've always been curious about that too.
Commonly seen in American reality television, competition-based reality shows typically feature the gradual elimination of participants either by panels or judges, by the viewership of the show, or by contestants themselves. Like?
Am I supposed to know the contestants?
No, like shows. Like American Idol.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
America's Got Talent.
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know the contestants' names, Jordan.
Yeah, that's why I said, like, with YouTube, it's so funny. If you take out the confessionals, like, really, that's what YouTube is.
I mean, kind of.
I don't. We don't want to debate that. We'll stay in this lane. That's fine. I'm good with that.
I see it, but like also not.
Do you think is it still aroused? Reality?
One hundo.
Really? You almost.
No, that's what I say. I don't say 100%. Which, by the way, 1440 listed that as one of the top, etc.
HP. 1 HP.
All right, Rain Man. What you talking about?
I was starting to shorten it. I just call it like 1 HP. You know what I mean?
You're not going to say 1 HP.
I could do it.
1 hundo.
1 HP.
Stop it. I'll launch across this table.
One.
And just like.
Bullet point. Hashtag. Anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
Reality TV. So yeah, okay.
I didn't realize
I feel
that.
like reality TV has changed because we still have 100% have reality TV.
Yeah.
Because like, but now
Desperate
it's
Housewives,
like
things like that. Yeah.
Because now we have like Hulu and Netflix and like, you know what I mean? Like we have all of these things where they're doing their own versions. I mean, like there's so many shows that have either moved from like the big channels, you know, whatever, ABC, CBS and stuff like that, and moved into Netflix to keep the fan base kind of entertained who enjoyed that show. But there's still definitely, I mean, I feel like that's kind of all that there is.
Well, I was looking up like which ones are there, and then yeah, you're totally right. Like there's a ton of them, like Survivor, but like then you have
Survivor still survived.
Survival, which is
wild
crazy.
Since it was like the first.
Married at First Sight, The Bachelor. You have like now shows that have gone over, you know, even Beast Games is a big one.
Beast Games?
Yeah, like Mr. Beast's show. That's a reality TV show. They're categorizing it as it's on Prime. The Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore, and they have the family reunion too now, which I don't even know. Like they're so out of their like prime time. Jersey Shore was a thing.
Did you watch Jersey Shore?
I watched it like later. Like so many people had talked about it, and then I just kind of like bandwagoned one day, and I think it was like when I was like folding laundry or something.
What's the one Real World that you watched that you remember?
Ooh, I don't remember.
Like, do you remember the season?
Seattle? No, Seattle was the first one.
Oh, those were so crazy.
What was the first one? There was like 3 seasons of The Real World that I watched. It was like, I want to say
my goodness.
Seattle was the first one, right?
Yeah.
So that was not, I was too young. But
let's see.
There was somebody out.
When people stop, what was the thing? When people stop something and start being real.
Yes.
I can't even remember. It's so crazy.
You're watching The Real World. I got something in my throat. My
New York, LA, San Francisco, London, Miami, Boston, Seattle, Hawaii, New Orleans, back to New York, Chicago, Las Vegas, Paris. Holy cow, the list just goes on and on and on.
Alton from The Real World.
Alton?
He was on... I'm looking to see.
I was looking.
Why was he on The Real World?
Anyway, that's crazy. 92?
No, that's just the.
That's the first one.
Show.
Did you say Alton?
Yeah, Alton. I don't remember. What?
People are like, what are you doing right now?
I'm looking.
It's from Vegas, 2022. 2002.
Yeah, that sounds right, because that was right around when I was able to like start watching MTV.
Yeah.
So yeah, I watched that. That was one of my go-tos.
Arissa, Steven, Frank, Bryn,
yes.
those people. Yeah.
I remember watching The Challenge.
Oh,
which was on MTV
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Which then, and The Challenge started with a show called Road Rule. Like they mixed
Road Rules. I remember
Rules,
that,
but I never watched that. I feel like MTV really was like
that was when they switched
big
over
time
from music videos and really started
but
like
they
getting
promoted,
it right.
I will say, I remember they promoted their music on those shows. They used the up and coming artists,
Right.
to to put in their episodes. So I remember that. Now I'm pretty sure it's just like TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would watch The Challenge. I would watch.
I stinking loved Road Rules.
I don't know what Road Rules was.
It was.
They travel.
Yeah, they was just like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What were your
like, man, I don't know. Like, I love the Jersey Shore. No, that is like I can't even believe I said that out loud. I can't even believe I said that out loud. I love Jesus now.
That's like I feel like that would appeal to prior Jesus Jordan.
Oh man,
like,
I loved like Pauly D
and Vinny and
it's the worst show ever. Like, don't even go
so
dive
dumb.
into it. It's so bad.
All of it's dumb.
Oh, it's all
of
dumb.
it's dumb.
Man, I never got into Survivor. Never hit that.
I watched
up.
the first season. I watched Big Brother for a while.
Never got into Big Brother.
That was interesting because like where Real World was just like people existing and stuff like that. Survivor and Big Brother, there were challenges, and so like there was strategy going on, and it was like you like this person, but they kind of are like backstabbing somebody else, and they're playing a game to win money.
Yeah,
and I don't think that Real World they won any money. Like they had to get jobs.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, then you had like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I mean, and those are more like family.
Shows.
They were, but like. See, that's where it gets weird. Like you get like this really
people.
like fine line. Singled Out.
I don't even know what that is.
You don't remember Singled Out?
Wait, is that where they sit in the chair?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was like a dating game.
Yes. That was like my first intro into MTV. Like I couldn't watch it when that was like on, and so I would watch it at night because I had a TV in my room, and so I felt like I was like breaking the rules.
This is so weird of what defines as a reality TV show. So like Cops.
Oh yeah,
Cops is a reality TV show. You have World's Funniest Home Videos. They're categorizing it as a reality TV show. But there's some of those things where I'd be like, man, I don't know.
So why do you think reality TV shows
Judge Judy
like, rose?
Why they were so big?
Yeah.
I think it was like the first thing that it was like, oh, this is really happening. Like this is real life. Like
people.
Like so you're moving away from like Family Matters, Step by Step, all these shows that like portrayed
heavily
like
scripted.
how life is.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like, whoa, wait a second.
This
like,
is life.
That's real.
Kind of.
That's like I would probably say like Cops set the stage for that.
Yeah, Cops was early.
Yeah, because it was the first time that you saw like this is really happening in real life. This is transpiring. You're seeing how people are responding. I loved Cops. I always thought it was just so fun.
I liked Cops, but I always got scared because they would always play like the America's Most Wanted. And I'd
like
be
right
like,
after.
Somebody's going to come and get me in my small town of Indiana. Like,
yeah. Like, I don't know. What do you think? Like,
so I think it's kind of the same way that like TikTok rose because people are interested in what other people are doing.
It hits the dopamine button for sure.
It does. Like, and it's weird because like most people, I feel like you watch these other people who at this point there's no reality in reality shows. Like if you think
not I would say there's no reality in scripted reality television.
But there's not non-scripted reality television.
Well, let me phrase
like,
it
even the
like a
producers,
doctored up version, like The Bachelor and those things. It's just so like
the producers like
you edited
twist.
that to make us feel this way. And there's a manipulation of emotions for sure.
Yeah, but I think we watch these people saying these things and doing these things, and a little piece of you is like, wow, I'm glad that's not me.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm glad that I don't live that way. Oh,
could you say the opposite is true though? That people look at that and go, I want that to be me.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, absolutely.
Like, I wish I was that person or whatever the case is.
Absolutely. I mean, like, I remember like America's Next Top Model.
Oh.
that was like, I loved America's Next Top Model.
Yeah.
I loved that and Top Chef. That was like early thousands.
Top Chef is a great show.
I loved early season of
What
Top
was the
Chef.
one that Chopped?
I never watched Chopped.
Chopped
That was on
so
Food
good.
Network. This one, I don't remember what Top Chef was on. Bravo, maybe.
Yep.
And
$1 Million Listing. That's up there with me.
$1 Million Listing.
It's about real estate agents that do like really high end like.
Oh, I just started watching something like that.
Oh my
it was
goodness,
like
I love it.
I needed like a mindless
So
something
good.
to watch, and it's called like Selling New York
Selling
or
New York?
something. Yeah, and like I
you'll
just
get
started
sucked in
watching
so
it.
fast.
It fascinates me, but yeah, like that's what it is like you get to peek into these other lives and see how does this work? Because I remember specifically, here's a phenomenal example. Watching Top Chef, like that was like Sunday, my mom and I after church.
Which is a great show, by the way.
Great show. And we loved Top Chef. And so what Sundays would be was we had a big basement and we had like our laundry room was out of the basement.
Yeah.
So we would have all of our laundry downstairs, and then my mom and I would just turn on Top Chef or Lifetime movies, and we would sit and we would watch them.
It's great.
And fold clothes.
I was just gonna say,
like
it's
a
great.
mindless show.
Yeah.
And so I still do that. Like that's how I started. Like I start watching mindless things so that I can just do tasks while I'm like, anyways. So Top Chef, I remember the conversation. My mom, it was like, I was like 17 or something like that. My mom and I were sitting on the couch watching Top Chef, and she turned to me and she was like, so what do you think you're going to do for the rest of your life?
Oh no.
And I was like, I don't know. Like I didn't really have a direction, so we kind of started talking about it, and I remember I like turned to her and I was like, maybe I'll be a chef, and her and I locked eyes for a second, and it was like this brief pause, and
like
then
a
we were like,
catalytic moment.
nah. We thought that my brother was gonna be a chef, not me, and because he was like, I don't know, he was the one who always like made pies.
That's
I was like,
unbelievable.
I'm cool with a bologna sandwich with chips on it.
now you're doing the thing,
and I know, and so like I'll talk about that every once in a while because
wild.
like I loved it. I wanted to be in those kitchens so badly, and that's what I wanted to do, but I didn't follow that for a while, and now here I am.
What's your grease with it? Like reality TV?
So,
is it the edited version? Is it like that it's so manipulated to
I think that
fit
might
your
be
emotions?
Your grease.
I'm still thinking it through. Like I got a couple of them.
My grease is that now celebrities are being people are being turned into celebrities based off of reality,
and they're not
TV,
even
and they're not
celebrities.
Like they didn't.
Same is true with influencers.
Yes. And it's like, but I don't know, because influencers, they're like working for that gig.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
influencers put forth the effort. There's, you can be like the outlandish, crazy reality star who on The Bachelorette or on The Bachelor, was like the drunken sloozy, the first night.
It's just because you're absolutely ridiculous is because you're popular.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you start, it's not a good like role model for anything, because like it's showing a negative side, and like you're getting famous for negative behavior.
Yeah.
And
I can see that.
It's like, ew.
Like who was the girl in the real world? She was like that.
A lot of
Sammy.
No, that was that? I have a handful of Sams. They're either so calm or so wild.
Way different.
Like,
who was the little girl that always got in trouble and oh man, I can't remember her name. Anyway, it's irrelevant.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean also like, I don't know. It's so addictive.
It is.
You can get so enraptured into that, and like you see things and like you can start idolizing, like, oh, I want that glamorous life.
Yeah.
But people forget, like, it's not reality, guys. At this point, like, it's not reality. Producers are behind it. Makeup artists are behind it. Like.
Have you ever seen like the behind the scenes where it shows like the cameras that are all present and everything? Like it's wild.
No.
It's so crazy. It's not even like real life. Like
it's weird to me.
Well, now cameras are so small, so it's easy, right? Like you can go ahead and you can put like somebody could follow you around and you would know that the camera's on, but in reality, like you would be like, maybe not.
Yeah.
Like we could just hook up like 10 GoPros and have like all these shots.
Yeah.
Back then it was like,
do you remember on Cops listening to the cameraman like running? You're like, go get him! Go get
and you would like cheer on the cameraman. You're like, I think you can keep up with him. And he's running with like a 30-pound camera on his shoulder.
Cops cameraman, how fit were you back then? Like they had to be in shape.
But they would show like even like the Real World stuff like that. Like they would show like they'd be out at a club or whatever, and there's like 5 guys, all the wires, like everything like that.
That's so disruptive.
Can you imagine? Like you're like you just wanted to go out that night, and you're like, what is happening?
And even beforehand, think about like because you have to get consent.
Oh yeah,
to
all the
show
people.
the people.
Yeah.
So like it's not just like they're going out. It's like they have paused anybody's night who wanted to go there.
Yep.
I guess at the beginning, and who wanted to go there.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, before you enter, can you please sign this waiver? We're going to be filming for X, Y, and Z. Then after the fame, they would start, because I remember they did this specifically with the Jersey Shore people. I don't remember where.
Yeah.
But they would be like, hey, Jersey Shore is going to be filming here. Make sure that you're here at this time.
And then people just
would
flock
to it.
Yeah.
So then they're, like they're willing participants. But like, can you imagine like
you just
going out to a restaurant?
You just want to go out.
Like Josh and I just, want to go out on a date. And then all of a sudden there's like 8 cameras right next.
Like get out of here.
No.
Well, and people are so... Well, back then, like people would see a camera and they would just stop. They're like, "I'm gonna be on TV." You know what I mean?
Like stupid, like peace sign, tongue out.
What was the ball drop? You remember when MTV used to have the ball drop?
Yes.
Well,
yes.
Total Request Live. Do you remember that?
I didn't watch it because
Carson Daly.
I don't know why I never watched it. One of
Shut
my best
your
friends
mouth.
loved TRL.
I love TRL.
I think. What was it?
I would run home to watch TRL.
I would watch it when my brother wasn't with me, but there was something that Caleb and I would fight for the remote, and he would win because he's larger than me.
All the Blink 182 would be on it. All that other crazy stuff.
Yeah, that was like the first like live audience, like not live audience, but like.
But people would see the camera and they did exactly what you did.
Yeah. Oh, look at me about to. Hi, Mom.
Like you're on TV now. It's so much like you're a disruption to my life. Like why do you have a camera out for real? Like what is wrong with you?
It's the same thing. I think we as a society have almost kind of gotten like sick of the camera thing. Not only because of that, but like how many times have you seen like 2 girls in the middle of a street, like doing their TikTok dances?
Right.
Like, I'm so sick of seeing everybody feel like I love people. You're not as interesting as you think you are.
For you guys who live like outside of where we live, if you broke out a camera, like they break out cameras like in big cities, or whatnot. You would, there'd be so many people. There'd be people coming out of their house with guns. Like, get that thing out of here. They just can't do it.
Wild.
Even when I film stuff, like I remember, I'll still do it. Like I'll roll around the church sometimes with a camera, trying to film stuff. We did it this year for one of our events in the community, and people were like, "What is that thing?
Who is this man?"
Because we had guys like walking around with cameras and everything. We even told everybody. We were like, "Hey, act normal. This is all for publicity and promotional purposes. Like we're gonna do this right." And there were still people like, "Wow, look at the camera. That's a neat camera. Like how much did that could cost?"
Yeah, you see like the news cars,
and
like,
it's
in
just
our town,
small town America.
And people will like get onto like the town page and be like, "What's this news center doing here?" Like, it's wild.
Wherever like 2 cop cars are gathered, like there's a ton of people just like watching out for it. So like, I don't know. I don't know what like my grease is with them, except for the fact that it's so addicting. And even like YouTube today.
Yeah.
It is like if I watch one video, I am like hooked.
And they've made it easy to get hooked.
Oh, because it's everything I like. It's so tailored to like your emotions now and all that other stuff. And it's like, oh, I like this. You know what I mean? And I'm going, but I don't like this. Like, I'll give you a great example. I'm on this like climbing kick. I don't climb.
Like mountain climbing?
Yeah. So these guys, they go out, they climb. Yeah, and like there's
a climbing gym.
Super strong. Where? Don't tell me
across from Hobby Lobby.
I don't have time for that. I couldn't even get up there. Yeah. Like, there's no possible way.
Can you not drive?
No, I wouldn't have time. I'd be like,
yeah.
I wouldn't even know what to do when I showed up.
We have. There is one. You can have birthday parties. We can have your birthday party there.
Well, these are like, okay, yeah. So anyway, but these are like like the best of the best.
Yeah.
And I'll find myself, I'm like, what am I doing watching this stupid show? Like, this is so pointless. And now they're so baked down into like 9, 8, 5-minute segments that you'll watch like 20 of them and you're like, that was the waste.
Where did my day go?
Yeah, like, why do I have no time? So I think that's what's frustrating because it's so seeded off your emotions. I'll tell you my super frustrating thing before we get to Grace's, but my big frustrating thing is commercials. Like, and I know it has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but watching anything, whether it's reality TV or whatever, I am irate when an ad or a commercial comes on. Like, I'm watching a show and I'm like, what is this garbage?
You know what? My kids, they've just recently started having to deal with commercials because like now all of the
with little kids, you never had to deal with it.
Never had to deal with it, but now all of the streaming, it's turned into TV again, which I knew was going to happen.
It's on its way back. You are correct.
We had television, and television was fine. And then we started getting these streaming services, and everybody signed up for the streaming services. And I was like, you watch. We're going to have commercials.
And then it's going to come all the way back down.
And then we're going to go back to TV.
Yep.
I was just, for work, I had to stay in a hotel. And they had, do you remember?
I turned the TV around if possible when I get to the hotel.
It was a big TV.
Yeah.
Do you remember the scroll? I turned it off. The scrolling like TV guide.
Oh yeah.
TV guide, and that's what I watched for. Like
you just were like flipping through, like this is amazing.
I didn't flip through. I let it just scroll through the TV. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
My brother and I, and my mom, we used to like
just
it
shows you just what's on.
Fast.
Yeah.
That was all that I watched because I don't watch TV anymore, and so I just.
It's like the 1440 for television.
I know. I like watched it for like 2 minutes, and I was like, "What are you doing?"
It's so like. Well, and here's the other like Grease. This isn't even remotely, but we're on a rabbit trail, so we might as well go the distance.
Make it happen.
Amazon Prime right now,
will
give you like, hey, here's the top 10 movies, but you have to buy them because they're not out. And I'm like, I already pay for Amazon Prime. Like, what in the world? Bethany's like, oh, let's rent that movie. This is Blockbuster. Like,
it
what?
Really is.
I looked at her the other day. I was like, what do you mean rent the movie? She's like, well, we'll rent it. I was like, why do we own Amazon Prime? And she's like, that's a good question.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I can't watch your movie, then it doesn't go in the streaming service.
Yeah.
Oh, I was irate.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Or now there's like Hulu has like the basic subscription, or they have the
extended subscription.
Whatever. And it's like, I just want.
Can you imagine
normal subscription?
I'm up there Sunday morning preaching. I give like the introduction to the sermon, and all of a sudden, like,
if you want to listen to the actual meat of this message, please pay $17.99.
Or just like somebody just randomly gets up and is like says something like, we're preaching Revelation right now. So can you imagine somebody gets up and be like, hey, are you worried about the end times? It's just this random
BetterHelp.
Yeah. Do you need counseling? Are you struggling with this? Does this give you anxiety? And I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, oh, we're just letting you have a break and we're going to give you, what you need. I don't need you to do that. Yeah, that's not okay.
Yeah, I'm used to commercials. Normally commercials are like if I'm into a show, then I'll like watch that, and then during the commercials, like I'll go and get something done. Like I try to be productive. So like
even streaming services right now have a link to other streaming services.
Yes.
Like
it's weird.
I was in a streaming service the other day and it said like click this link, and then I clicked it and it was like, oh, if you want to subscribe to Paramount. I'm like, what's Paramount? Like, what is that? They're like, it's like X amount. I'm like, huh?
Where it's just it's TV. It's television.
It's all baiting.
Let's go back to television, guys.
All right. Regarding the last 5 minutes that we have, do you have any graces about reality TV? As if we even talked about it. This is so wild.
I can't believe we're done.
We're living in the Wild West here.
My grace for reality TV, I
love that you're struggling to find something.
Well,
it just shows how bad it really is. I had one in
my head of like, I think that it like shows in the right light. Not in the right light.
If it's like, done right, if it's done correctly.
It can show really cool things. Like it can give you like almost kind of like a bucket list of like, oh, I want to go there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, had we not had like the Real World, because that was when we didn't have internet. Had we not had the Real World, we wouldn't have seen like what Seattle looks like unless you went there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like it kind of gives you this segue into like, oh, this is what this is
Yeah.
like kind of a thing. I want to go and visit there.
I would say that reality television paved the way for what you have today. Like
Yes.
what again, this is so stupid, but I got hooked on some video the other day about guys who do like pogo sticks. And
what is your watch history?
I don't know. You don't even want in. Like here's the deal. Okay, so I'll just like throw this out there. I think so much in the day that like whatever I can do to just like let my mind like check out for like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
like that's
I get that.
I live in that.
Yeah.
So these guys essentially like are talking about, and they're currently, he was talking about one generation started this. And
Pogo sticking.
Yeah, and he's like, and then they had to like name all the tricks and all that other stuff, and the next generation built on top of that, and so then like he said like they're at like the third generation, and he's like, so for what we're doing right now, it's still innovative and all that other stuff. He's like, but we couldn't do what we do right now without the first two generations.
Yeah,
and I kind of think about that like the iPhone, which started as the iPod.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm like, reality television was kind of like the first generation of, hey, we're going to show you what life is kind of like, you know, in a sense that you can grasp, which paved the way for influencers.
Oh yeah.
So I think like if you're an influencer and you're out there and you're like, hey, like this is what I do and this is, you know, how I'm, you can thank reality television for that.
Yeah.
Because
Very
before that, it was, now here's what's crazy to me. I've watched a couple of quote unquote sitcoms. Like I feel like reality television, this is a grease, but I feel like they've killed like TV shows. There's a couple of them out there. Like, I mean, there's some shows out there that people would say like, no, these are so good. And I'm like, okay, but I'm talking like accepted by the entire nation as like the last great, and I know people would contest against this, but like I'm thinking of things like 24, like, or Lost, or like, those type of shows.
A zillion seasons.
Yeah.
That people were locked in.
The Office. Yeah. Those type of shows were so, which The Office just took reality television and was like, let's run with this. Yeah. Like, let's just make this absolutely crazy.
Yeah. It was weird. Yeah.
And Parks and Rec did the same thing. And,
I never watched Parks and Rec. I've never seen an episode of it.
But I feel like it shot the foot of like creativity.
Yes.
Because there's or it made it harder to create, but there has not been in a long time a show where everybody's watching it.
Yeah, there hasn't.
And it's just so intrigued
Mike
by
Tyson fight.
Which is reality television. Yeah, like, and I miss those days. Yeah. I miss when like you would say like, "Hey, did you watch this last night?" Because it came out on a Friday.
Yeah.
Or it came out on a Thursday, and it was like when the CDs dropped, which Spotify, hats off, has brought this back.
Yeah, they have.
Because the Friday drop, I love Friday drops.
Like I'll get it on my like homepage of like before I can scroll anything, it's like, hey, this album is new.
Yeah.
We think you'd like this. And I'm like, yeah, let's check it out. In fact, actually there's one of the artists that I listen to, I need to
Music Soul Show.
No. No.
No, like I miss that. I miss like when you used to come into like your place of employment and you're like, oh man, did you see what happened last night? You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was so like everybody was there. Yeah. Now it's like
everybody watches everything and nothing all at the same time.
Right. Or everybody watches their own stuff. And it's like,
I remember like so in high school, my best friend and I, we called it Teen Mom Tuesdays.
Oh man.
And we would go out to eat on a Tuesday night at Applebee's. We would get French fries and chicken tenders.
Getting them appetizers.
And we would eat there.
You got apps? I got apps.
Go to her house. We would watch One Tree Hill. Which was like the teenage soap opera.
It is.
And then
low-cut jeans and
Teen Mom.
Abercrombie shirts.
And then it was Teen Mom. And like, I kid you not, the next like day, I mean, that was when like cell phones were around. And so like we would be like texting our friends like, oh my goodness, could you imagine? Oh, you know, and like it was a topic of conversation. And yeah, you're right. That doesn't happen anymore.
But to watch your face when you're talking about that is crazy. Because it's not the thing. This is going to sound wild, but like, so our neighbor, for example, used to have like people over for The Bachelor. Like they would like, oh yeah, they would like.
I say that, but I just did that. Like
you just did it. Yeah. So like you could sit there and pick apart your show and be like, I can't believe you did that or whatever. But it was funny because television used to be the thing that encouraged community.
Yeah.
And now it's the thing that is killing community.
Absolutely.
Because it's become so centralized, so or so individualized. So like what we used to have, real world, road rules, whatever the case is, like it was
a talking point.
It was a talking point. Yeah. And it was like, hey man, you want to come over and watch The Office tonight? I never forget. In college, we used to do it all the time. It was like, come over. Like, this is so funny. Like, Jim and Pam are getting married. Like, we know it, you know? These people like actually lived in our house. Or when I was a kid and you watched like Family Matters, you went to school the next day or you went to school on Monday and you were like, did you see what happened on TGIF?
Yeah. I was just and we had to wait an entire week.
Yeah.
The to be continues would like rip my soul out. Not a to be continued.
Yeah.
Kids will never understand. There's kids these days.
Or like for example, like the pause button. What is that? Like, I mean, when that commercial hit, it was like, I didn't watch commercials when I was a kid because I was too busy running to the kitchen trying to load up some bowls of like popcorn or something to get back downstairs and be like, what I miss?
I know, and you couldn't rewind.
There's no rewind button. Like, you were programming the VCR to make sure that like it actually.
That was good times.
It was just so like it was one of those things. So reality TV has springboarded individualism. It's kind of killed creativity, you know. But community, I think, is. And maybe this is full circle. Like, maybe that's why reality TV is so watchable because people crave that community. Like, people really want to be connected with people.
Well, and if you think about it, I mean, kind of in that community because, like, there was just a show. What was I was watching something last night with like an all-star cast. It was a huge cast. And it was just a show that I started on the flight, like from my trip.
Yeah.
And I was like, we'll just keep watching this. This sounds interesting. And so then like Josh sat down and like we watched a show. So like Josh and I will sit down and like we'll watch a show. And I know a lot of couples do that. And so like in that regard, it has like, it brings just something different to talk about than the, like regular monotony of the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Instead of work and kids and all that other stuff.
Like, how's your day? You know, like,
it was
you
good.
can talk about something else. But yes, I can see what you're saying. That it like
after verbally processing that, like that's so true. And I think that's why probably YouTube is so huge because people look at that and they watch those videos and they go, I want that community.
Well, they call it the YouTube community.
Right. Like, but I mean, they want the community of the video they're watching. They want to sit down and say like, so like take the real world, for example. It didn't matter who you were or where you're from. You're like, man, I wish I had 5 friends that were like that.
Yeah.
Even though they fought, they still lived in the same house or whatever the case is. They still went out at night. It was like, man, I really want that community. And then you didn't get it. So you feel like you had this big hit of dopamine. And then all of a sudden it's like depression because you turned off the TV and it's like, oh, my life is trash. Because it gives the appearance of like, bliss when in reality like there is, which is crazy, I just said that, there is no bliss. And it's like, so you manufactured something that we desired and we didn't get it, and it was like, that's sad.
I think that's still a thing people are fighting with.
Well, I think even if you watch like a YouTube video, like let's say like you jump on and you're watching like a YouTube video of like 5 chefs, it's like the Top Chef or whatever, like there's probably something inside of you that goes, man, I'd love to have those 5 friends around.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Or I'd love to cook with those people.
It'd be cool to have a group of 5 chefs to hang out with. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to go hang out with the 4 guys that I've watched like climbing videos. I can't climb anything, but in my mind, I'm lying to myself. I'm like, I could totally climb that.
I could do it. I could go.
That. Which is what you said, right? Like it gives you the like almost courage to think like I could do that.
I could do it. Yeah.
But
or like I see a lot of like hiking videos and like biking, like extreme biking looks so rad.
You're like, I could do that.
I'm like, absolutely. I could go down these like cliffs and whatnot and be able to easily traverse this terrain. I'll do it with my group of biking friends.
I love that you have that verbiage too. You're like, I could traverse that. Absolutely. Let me just show you.
Yeah, absolutely. I can do it.
You have like all the knowledge, and then it's like you get on the thing. You're like, okay, I was lying, guys. No. I was lying, you guys.
I don't know about this.
Yeah,
I'll just support you.
I can do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, it would give out. I'd go out.
Oh man, it's so weird.
Absolutely.
Like, 100. Yeah, like you just because you watch it and you Monday quarterback the thing like crazy, and you learn like all about it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh.
How do you think?
I'm not gonna
how
do
would you describe reality television? to people in the early 1900s?
Oh man,
because they didn't have television.
We filmed your life. I think about that all the time. Like,
how would you describe?
Well, I think about like
to somebody in the 1900s.
I know that like when we die, you know, like there is that whole, not to get like too theological here, but like you'll know and understand, you know what I mean, like what people went through. But I feel like we owe a huge conversation to people who lived anything pre-1900.
It's like so,
because there's so many, like, I mean, you're talking 2,000 years of just nothing. And then all of a sudden it's like, we got cars and microwaves.
We got cell phones. I mean, like the things that we have now.
Like, let me tell you something. You guys didn't even take a shower. Like, we
big
got
old
that
boom in 2025, baby.
It's so true though. Like, I mean, if you study anything pre like 1900, you're like, did we just not know what we were doing? We capture people's souls on video.
Would be, probably anybody in the 1800s would be so distraught. They'd be like, y'all are lazy.
No, we died. They would kill our whole country.
If I wanted ice for my water, I had to go down to the Iceman and get a 25-pound block of ice and haul it back up a hill.
They would kill all of us. They'd be like, you're all witches and warlocks. And like, like that's all they would do is just like instant death. Like, they'd be like, what?
Oh man, that's good.
So, all right, what do you want to hear about?
I want to hear like, what were your reality TV shows?
Yeah, because I feel like we really like hit that hard.
We got
yeah,
because
like
there were so many.
What were you watching?
Yeah, what were you watching? And why did you watch that one? Like, what pulled you?
What was the draw
into that show?
Yeah, I think if you were honest, it was probably because you wanted to be like those people.
Yeah.
Like just straight up.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I wanted to be that person.
Oh, yeah. The challenge. I was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
I'd go on there. 100%.
I would say like, not only what was your like your go-to reality show, but like what was the one character on that show that just grinded you? Like just was like,
who was the guy in Survivor? The first guy in Survivor.
There were
there
are so many people.
Could you imagine being the person that people hated?
Well, and then
You're the villain.
So this is where my mind goes with all the time with anything, like people who do crazy stuff, whether they're athletes or like make their money that way, you know, or whatever the case is. I always think about them in a small group at church. Like you're in your small group, you start your small group, you know, you got like your 5 people or whatever, and it's like, okay, we're gonna go around. Somebody say something like interesting about yourself that you know nobody else knows, and then all of a sudden it's like Gary, and it's like, I was on Survivor.
It would be even better if like nobody else in the small group knew
exactly. Like one time I was on Survivor. What's Survivor? Like, oh, it was a TV show. What did you do? Got half naked. And made a whole lot of people upset. Like that's what I did. Like that's I always think like our conversations with God are going to be like that someday. He's going to be like, tell me what you did with your life. And you're like, well, I folded laundry to mad about you. All right, we're done. We're done here. Hey, all right, here's the deal.
Reach out to
what a crazy episode. It's all good. Hit us up at greaseandgracepod at gmail.com. We do want to hear from you guys. I mean, we've been doing this for a while, and I feel like sometimes you guys are like, nah, I'm not going to reach out. You know what? Reach out. Why not? It's worth it. Tell us what's up. We won't say your name or anything like that, but we do want to hear from you. So tell us what's going on. And then... Yeah, you can also hit us up at greaseandgracepod.com and then do us a huge favor. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all those things. And then share it with a friend of yours. So
I did have somebody who was like, what's this podcast? Tell me about it.
I don't know.
And I was like, we just talk. Just talk.
If you want to take an hour of your day and have your life be enhanced by at least 10%, then Grease and Grace podcast is for you. So thanks for listening.
I don't know how it'd be enhanced, but hey, you go.
Until next time.
Bye.